Have been killed by wildfires in Lyons, a young boy and his grandmother. The family tells us 12-year-old Wyatt Tofty and his grandmother Peggy Masso were trying to escape when they were overtaken by the flames. Wyatt's father tells us he went in to look for his family, but he was met with flames. Well, he eventually found his wife, who is reportedly in critical condition.
Our wildfire team coverage continues. Melody Gonzalez will get to the evacuations on the Oregon coast in a moment. But first, Cor Harlan is in Lyons, not far from the Beachy Creek fire. That's at least 182,000 acres now. So what are you seeing, Cor?
Well, Ken, we've actually just scooted out of Lyons over here to Mahama, just a short distance away here. They've opened up some of the roads to local traffic for people to get into their homes here, and we just came across this here. This is just essentially the scene of what is left over of a home and a garage here, just on the north bank of the North Santiam River, between the North Santiam River and Highway 22. And as Carl will walk along here, you can see everything here has just been burned to the ground. The car still in the garage, you can kind of make that out a little bit here, and some smoldering debris from this what appears to be a double wide, still kind of smoldering right there. Carl gives you a good look at that, and then swing around and take a look at this giant structure here. This was somebody's home a short time ago, and it burned to the ground as this firestorm came racing down the Santiam River Valley the other day. We have been in Mill City this morning, where one man decided to stay against evacuation orders to defend the home that he grew up in. Virgil James is one of the few people who stayed put in downtown Mill City when the evacuation order came. He's been here hosing his house down with water every couple hours for the last 2 days, determined not to lose the place he grew up in.
It's my family home, so I'm not going to leave. I'm going to stay here and make sure it doesn't burn.
Like many others around him, Virgil's gritty determination to stay put is not just about helping himself. He says he's been here helping others endure and survive the firestorm of the century.
I mean, this is my home and this is my hometown. I mean, I've been helping other people try to save their homes and trying to save mine, and what else can you do?
The wind that blew the firestorm down the Santiam Valley has gone dead calm. Visibility driving between Lyons and Mill City mid-morning Thursday is not much longer than the length of a football field at times. The signs of fire damage are all around, with one side of the street in ruins, while another house just across the street seems to be untouched by fire. One man who's been watching since the beginning is longtime Sublimity area resident and Sublimity councilman Greg Adkin, who says the coming days of discovery will reveal the horror and destruction as rescue crews gain deeper access into the fire area.
As they go up the canyon and into these cities and into these neighborhoods that are off the beaten trail, they'll find a lot of devastation. They'll find some homes miraculously survived, but other homes are burnt to the ground. And a lot of these people up in those areas chose not to evacuate. That was their own decision, which they are allowed to make. And there could be tremendous loss of life and property found in the next 48 hours.
And that search and recovery effort is expected to get underway here as search and rescue crews get greater access to the fire zone. That will happen, as I just mentioned, in the last couple of days here. This is a live picture back here again from Mahama, just down the road from Lyons here. And to give you an idea of just how sporadic this fire struck, this home right next to this home that burned down had a metal roof on it, was untouched. You see the neighbor there putting some more water on his yard there. But this just speaks to how rapidly this firestorm blew down the Santiam River Valley, hopping and skipping and jumping from house to house, skipping a house or two, and then burning another house like this to the ground here. And sadly, Jenny and Ken, this is just the beginning of what is certain to be a days-long and a weeks-long discovery of a lot of destruction of property. And sadly, there is a great fear that there are a lot of people who did not heed the evacuation orders and may have perished in their homes as well. We don't have any official confirmation of any of that yet, but as this recovery effort gets underway, we are bound to hear more of that bad news. Jenny and Ken?
Yeah, that's pretty much what the governor said yesterday as well. Okay, thank you, Cor.